Welcome to Bearcat Update. I'm your host, Max Moore, and we are here at Arrowhead Stadium, quite possibly my favorite stadium in the world. Great tailgating, great atmosphere inside the stadium, and the Bearcats of Northwest Missouri State are playing here against the University of Central Missouri in the Fall Classic. And I've been coming here since I was a little kid, even from all the way out in California. I would fly out here with my dad to come to these games, and it's truly a special game. Last year I had the privilege of playing in this game, and what a great atmosphere it was, seeing all the green on one side and all the red on the other side. It was such a cool moment and such a fantastic place to be here down in Kansas City, Missouri. And not too far away from Kansas City, Missouri is Smithville High School, where the Spoofhounds of Maryville High School took on the Smithville Warriors in an MEC matchup that had major championship implications. We caught the highlights of that one, so let's roll to them right here.
And we start things off with Will Walker here, throwing it to the end zone, hoping for his receiver to grab it, but Smithville will take the ball from him. And as we have Hugh Beck here, number 34, rumbling his way up the middle, making it look easy. And Isaac Miller is going to follow that one up with a short little scamper over to the right side and into the end zone for the touchdown. Will Walker had a pedestrian day with 20% completion rate at 79 yards and 2 interceptions. Eli Dowis tried to keep things rolling for the Spoofhounds, but he only had 74 yards total with 1 touchdown as Smithville defeats the Spoofhounds 35-6.
And for the Spoofhounds, their MEC championship hopes may be in doubt after that loss against the Smithville Warriors. Our reporter, Boston Schneider, caught up with some tailgaters out here at the Arrowhead parking lot. Boston, how are things looking out there?
As fans piled in to Arrowhead Stadium to see the #1 ranked Bearcats take on UCM, many took to the parking lot to get pregame festivities underway.
I think we got a lot of people out here supporting the Tats today. Good turnout for the game. I think a lot of people are excited for, everyone's excited for the day.
People are just hanging out, having a great time, drinking a little bit. Am I allowed to say that?
I would say the atmosphere here is going to be crazy, especially as it nears game time.
I would say UCM side's a lot of fun, but Northwest is representing a lot more. So I got to get Northwest on that.
Fans were anxious to give their score predictions as Northwest rides a 34-game win streak heading into their showdown with Central Missouri.
42-8.
I'm hoping Mules are like 42-36.
When was the last time Central beat us? 2011? Been a while. I think we're going to win today.
Man, I'm going to go 41-14 Northwest.
Oh man, probably 50-0.
I got the Bearcats winning 28-7. I really think we're going to blow them out, so let's just go with like a 65-3.
Many predictions had the Bearcats by a wide margin.
Cats by 90.
Cats by 90, actually.
Cats by 90.
Score prediction?
Cats by 90.
Obviously Cats by 90.
I'm going to say this one time. Cats by 90.
Tune in later in the show to see if Northwest could make it 35 in a row. For Bearcat Update, I'm Boston Schneider.
Thanks, Boston. And we're going to take a quick break from the partying here at Arrowhead, and we're going to head up to St. Joseph to meet up with Ameree Martin, producer and host of Griffin Update at that former junior college, of St. Joseph. What's up, guys? We're here at Missouri Western State University in the heart of St. Joseph, and we are here for this matchup between the Missouri Western Griffins and the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. I'm joined by producer, reporter, overall great person, Ameree Martin. Amari, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good, Max. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. It's a great night for volleyball. The fall air is starting to cool off. It's about 66 degrees. I started wearing my flannels today.
You did?
It is fantastic. I love it.
Well, you look fantastic. I love this. I love the pink. I love the shoes. Just everything is just great. I love it.
I try. I was told, my producer Brett told me that I was going to be joined by you, and I said, I have to look good.
Aw.
I have to do my best in order to look good for you. So that's certainly something I had to do. So let's preview the matchup. Northwest is coming off a win against Lindenwood. They faced Central Missouri in their first league matchup. They lost that 0-3. The first set was tight. The other two, they fell off the horse a little bit. I talked to Coach Worth earlier today. They said they're really going to have to keep their composure today, especially against a tough team like Missouri Western, where regardless of who everybody's record is, records kind of go out the window, as the old cliche goes.
I agree.
We
have volleyballs flying everywhere.
Balls flying everywhere. You know, we got to make sure we avoid them at all costs. So as I was saying, Northwest really has to keep their composure. They've had a tough stretch coming in early. Tournament all the way up in Michigan, tournament all the way down in Arkansas, places in between. They're really going to have to make sure that they keep their composure tonight and really work to their advantages. What do you think Missouri Western can do to knock off the Bearcats tonight?
Well, tonight I'm really confident in these girls. I mean, they came off a loss from UCM 1-3, so I feel like they are ready to come back and play and win this game against the girls. I mean, these girls struggle. We have a record of 7-8 right now. I don't think Coach is too happy with their record, but I think these girls are progressing. They're coming better and closer as a team, and they're trying to win games.
Certainly that is the case, and one thing Northwest their goal last year was to break top 4 in conference.
Right.
Is there a specific goal that Missouri Western has so far this year?
Honestly, these girls, it's a mindset goal. Like I talked to one of the seniors, Amanda Davlin, she told me their only goal right now is just to win games. So we'll just see. They have to pull out this win tonight. It's a big rivalry is big with us, so you have to get that
that's
win.
certainly the case, and I know as a football player, you have to go week by week and you have to
Right.
go game by game. It's one of those things where if you look too far ahead,
Exactly.
it's not going to end well for you.
Right.
Who are the key players for Missouri Western tonight?
Some key players tonight is Shelby Taylor. We have Stephanie Doak. We only have we only have like 3 seniors. One of our seniors, Kayla Ruff, is actually averaging the most digs in our school history right now. So I feel like those seniors helping the team is going to make this team really come together.
That's certainly the case. I think for Northwest, look out for Maddie Bruder. She is a fantastic outside hitter. She really knows how to kind of almost embarrass the other team. She'll go up there and spike the ball right in your face, and I certainly would not want to be on the other end of that. Sarah Danitel is a fantastic setter. She's able to distribute the ball so well, and Olivia Nowakowski, the libero, she does such a fantastic job. She set the school record for digs with over 40. I can't remember the specific number, but she does such a fantastic job at the libero spot. And so that'll be certainly some of the players for Northwest Missouri State to look out for. Do we have a little wager going tonight? I think we might have to get a wager going.
What is it?
I don't know. I think we might have to do something as simple as maybe I have to wear a Missouri Western
Now
shirt.
let me tell you, last time this happened, Griffin football, me and Tim, I had to wear that awful green. No offense. Green's just not my color. It doesn't look good on me.
It's all right. The championship colors aren't meant for everybody. That's certainly the case. And it looks like things are getting started over here, so we're going to throw it to the highlights. And Amari, we'll see you in green after the game.
And we're going to pick up the action here in the second set as Northwest looks to fight back after falling down 1-0, and they will find that one into their corner, and a point goes for Mo West. Olivia Nowakowski is going to send it over to the Missouri Western side, and a nice block by the front wall from the Bearcats. And Coach Worth is trying to fire up the troops as they find themselves still down as Maddie Bruder digs a beautiful play there. Things are going back and forth in this long rally. One of the few long rallies they had in this matchup, as Missouri Western was really dominant throughout this whole entire match. Sarah Danitel with a beautiful play there to get the Bearcats a point, and Coach Worth still trying to keep them going and keep them motivated. But on the last play of the match, the Bearcats were unable to get things rolling as Missouri Western fought back right there, and they're going to try and send it over and spike it to the other side, but unfortunately aren't able to do so in bounds. Northwest fell in that one 3-0, and on Friday they won against Southwest Baptist 3-0, and on Saturday they beat the Missouri Southern Lions 3-1.
Well, looks like I'm going to have to wear that hideous gold shirt. But I think these will make it look a little bit better. We're going to head back down to Arrowhead, so stay tuned for more here on Bearcat Update. And we're back here on Bearcat Update. The party's still rolling here at Arrowhead Stadium. Bearcat fans who certainly know how to tailgate are getting hydrated, as we're probably about 4 hours until kickoff, and the party is going like it's only an hour away from kickoff. Now, while we're partying down here, Maryville celebrated senior night for the softball team just this past week. Our reporter Hannah Ryan caught up with the lone senior on the Maryville Spoofhound softball team.
In 2014, Beth Peterson stepped on the Spoofhound softball field as the only freshman. Now, she will finish her last season as the only senior on the team.
You get a lot of the glory, you're like the only one, and so you get a lot of, hey, you're the senior, and people really like you, and they get attached to their seniors because we've been on a team for a long time together, and most of these girls have been with me for 3 years, and I'm really close to them, and so being the only one makes that bond kind of a lot better.
Beth is now the starting third baseman for the Spoofhounds. She has never once regretted her decision to play softball in high school, though being the only senior can be tough at times.
The pressure is probably one of them. I know that if I mess up, that it's a lot more pressured on me because I've been doing it for 4 years. And so being the senior, you're kind of the one that's looked up to, like, hey, you don't mess up as much because you've been here for 4 years and you should be as close to perfect as you can get. So it's a little stressful at sometimes.
Maryville honored their senior Thursday night before their game against the Savannah Savages. Though Beth is the only member on the team graduating in the spring, head coach Chandra Dimott believes it is difficult to see any player's time come to an end.
They always recognize our seniors and then, announce what their future plans are and that kind of thing. And the girls have prepared some fun gifts and different stuff for her. So it's always kind of a bittersweet, emotional end. Excited for her new chapter and everything that the future holds for her, but it's always a little sad to watch them go and leave the program.
Beth will hang up her cleats after this season, but will continue her education at the University of Central Missouri. For Bearcat Update, I'm Hannah Ryan.
Thanks, Hannah. And while the softball team hasn't done too well so far this season, our reporter Michael Byland has caught up with a team who has gotten off to a fast start here in Maryville.
The Maryville Spoofhounds host the Cameron Dragons at Kawasaki Field. Rainy weather not allowing for the best field conditions, but that wouldn't slow down the Spoofhound. Charlie Patterson puts Maryville on the board in the second minute. Junior Brendan Ware with this nice crosser. Spoofhounds keep flirting. Captain Thomas Despano looking for his first goal, but gets denied. Midfielder Jaden Hayes from way downtown, just a bit outside. Maryville still attacking. Zach Staples sets up Hayes. The header, just off. Thomas weaving and bobbing his way to this score, and when it rains, it sure does pour. Maryville would go on to score 13 unanswered goals, including this one from Will Maddock. The Spoofhounds flood the gates 13-0. For Bearcat Update, I'm Michael Byland.
Thanks, Michael. And with the Maryville soccer team doing well, one team that's looking to bounce back after a tough loss against Central Missouri State, the women's soccer team of Northwest Missouri State, had a match against Southwest Baptist earlier this past weekend. We got the highlights of that one, so let's check that out.
And in this battle of the Bearcats, Northwest Missouri State would look to prevail at home after falling to UCM not too long ago. We get things started with Maddie Kruger and a beautiful little chip shot right there, and that'll give the Bearcats an early lead in this matchup, and they will not relinquish it. A nice cross into the middle, struggled by the defense, and another goal by the Bearcats of Northwest Missouri State. And here is one of the best plays of the day. Izzy Romano will get this one and outclass the defense with a beautiful little curling ball into the back of the net, and that'll give the Bearcats a 6-0 victory on the day and improve their record to 4-4 on that day. But on Sunday they fell to Missouri Southern 1-0 to give Missouri Southern their first win on the year.
We're going to take one last break, but be sure to stay tuned for more here on Bearcat Update as we talk with one of my favorite people in the world, and we have the highlights from the action here at Arrowhead Stadium. Welcome back to Bearcat Bearcat Update. I'm Max Moore, and we are joined by one of my favorite people on this planet, Shane Smiley Smith. Shane, how are we doing today?
Hey, Bearcat football on a Saturday, you can't beat it.
Absolutely. And I wanted to bring you on today because you know what it's like to be at Arrowhead Stadium. You got to play there and you got to watch games there. What was it like being able to play there as a Bearcat?
It was incredible. I mean, the atmosphere is second to none. I mean, the fans, you drive in through the parking lot, which they're probably getting ready to do here in about an hour, hour and a half, and they're going to see all us fans tailgating, and it's going to amp them up. I know it is because it did for me. They got a big game this week at Central Missouri. Back when I played at Arrowhead, it was Pitt, so still a huge game. So you add this stadium to a game of that magnitude, a big rivalry game like this, and it's incredible.
So what really can you expect from Northwest? Is it nerve-wracking going into these kind of games when it's such a big stadium?
I think a little bit your first time especially, but we always talked about weathering the first 7 minutes, the first 7-8 minutes of football, keeping our composure, staying true to ourselves, not getting rattled. That's one of the things that we always focused on, because if you lose your head in moments like that, then you're obviously not going to play well. I think we always seem to do a good job of that.
And something I always played well, and I'm sure you did well as well, is when we had a nice meal the night before. Coming down to Arrowhead, they had Arthur Bryant's for dinner. What was your favorite pregame meal the night before?
Oh man, we always enjoyed the Arthur Bryant's anytime we played in Kansas City.
Absolutely.
Like the road games to Missouri Southern. We always eat at the Woody's barbecue down there, or in Oklahoma, we always catered in some barbecue when we go play like Northeastern State or UCO. So really the barbecue. I'm a barbecue guy. I'm a Kansas City guy, so.
Absolutely. I know as well as you do that Kansas City barbecue is tough to beat. Certainly out in the tailgating parking lots, there is plenty of barbecue. I heard you had some smoked pulled pork coming in today.
Yep. I stayed up all night trying to make sure that it was just right. It didn't turn out too bad. So we smoked a pork butt, and we're going to have some pulled pork at the tailgate.
Well, I'll tell you what, I might have to stop by and grab some. Well, we're going to check out the highlights here between Northwest Missouri State and Central Missouri here on Bearcat Update.
And here's everybody's favorite dance crew, the Bearcat Steppers, as we get things started with literally only 37 seconds left to go in the game, as Brooke Bowles will get the snap, look for his receiver in the end zone, and depending on who you ask, might have had a little bit of a push-off. The Central Missouri Mules take the lead and leaving the Bearcat fans quiet. But leave it to Sean Bain Jr. and Zach Martin to bring up the crowd for Northwest as he brings in the huge reception down to the 4-yard line. And here's Zach Martin again, tossing him to Jordan Bishop with 7 seconds left to go to give the Bearcats the lead and the victory on the day. As we see, the Bearcat fans were more than excited. They were jumping up and down, throwing confetti everywhere, and on the other side, the Central Missouri fans were more than disappointed in the outcome of this matchup. And while Zach Martin only completed 43% of his passes, he had 219 yards in the air, and Ben Althoff was a monster on the defensive side with 12 total tackles, 7 of those being solo and assisted on the rest of them. Coach Rich Wright talked about the end of the game during the post-game press conference and how crazy it was.
My heart, yeah, it wasn't functioning well. It was just one of those games. It was back and forth, and it was, the thing I told the kids after the football game is Northwest is a really special place, and our kids genuinely believed that they were going to win that football game. And they battled, and we gave up a touchdown. And our offensive kids, I could hear them behind me. They were like, we're going to score. And lo and behold, the first play, we pass over the middle, we get a reception. We were helped a little bit by the fact that the Central kid got hurt, allowed us to get set, and then, hit the vertical ball. And now the momentum switched. And, it's just a testament to our kids and their grit and their desire and determination, and didn't give up in a really tough situation.
And the Bearcats got the victory here at Arrowhead Stadium. Always a good time when we see the Bearcats get a win, especially at this legendary stadium. Some events coming up this week in Bearcat sports. Friday, soccer at Fort Hays and volleyball at Nebraska Kearney. Cross country is at the Tiger Open at Fort Hays State University. Football will be at home against University of Central Oklahoma, and volleyball will be at Fort Hays State University. That's all the time we have here on Bearcat Update. Be sure to tune in Monday through Thursday at 6 o'clock here on KNWT Channel 8. On our Twitter page, follow us at Bearcat Update _8, and check us out on YouTube at KNWT 8. And remember, you either get better or you get worse. You never stay the same.